Hello, this is Ivy, and most of you probably know me from Twitch. I've decided we're going to do something different and think about it as the pilot episode of Ivy Talks About Games She Played. Today we're going to talk about Heavy Rain, and I'm going to share my thoughts and opinions about the game with you. You know how we do this little spreadsheet on Twitch where I put the rating of the game, like 10 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 6 out of 10, and whatnot, and I say a little bit about the game. Would be cool if I actually recorded a video of me talking about strong points of the game, weak points of the game, what I liked, what I didn't like at all, etc, etc, etc. So Heavy Rain, I've wanted to play Heavy Rain since forever, but because I never owned a console before, that was hard to do. So one day I decided, screw this, I'm getting a console, I'm playing all of the exclusives, I am getting into this game of console gaming, and I'm seeing this for myself. Because people have been telling me that those games are absolute masterpieces. So I didn't know what to expect from Heavy Rain, to be honest, because the only two games I've completed on console being Horizon Zero Dawn and Spider-Man, and maybe we will talk about them a little bit later if you like this kind of format of me sharing my opinion about certain games. And I honestly didn't know. I didn't know what it was going to be like, and let's be honest, the beginning of the game was a cringe fest. I did not expect I was gonna be made to play as a middle-aged man, brushing his teeth, dressing up, checking his wife's butt, helping with the groceries, watching TV, basically being lazy while my wife was doing shopping and picking the kids up from school. But anyway, this is the smaller part of the game, and I know many people stopped right there. I know many people kind of started playing Heavy Rain, got at that slower tutorial like part and didn't make it to the best part. I've heard so many people say this game sucks because it's slow and it's a life simulator, and they have no idea why someone would want to play the entire game of that. But once you get past that part, once you get past the chasing, and once you get past the cringy acting, the game actually gets really good. I think it's one of the best stories that I've had in the video games. I don't know, maybe that's me, but the detective-like stories always get my attention. I always want to find out who the killer is, who was the cheaty wife, who stole something, who kidnapped a child, and who is responsible for committing a crime. I loved LA Noire, and if you've been here with me on Twitch for a long time, you've probably seen me play LA Noire, and I absolutely loved that game. And Heavy Rain is different from LA Noire, but at the same time, we're kind of following the story of a criminal, and we're trying to find out who the criminal really is. So the story was good, and the game got really tense, and very soon I got into the game so much that by the time I stopped streaming, I couldn't wait till I go live again to continue with the story, and I was just thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it, and that's how you know you are playing a very good game. Another coolest part, another amazing part of the game was the choices. People told me that Heavy Rain is one of the games that makes you do and makes you choose what to do, and results into so many various consequences, and I couldn't believe it, because let's be honest, for the past several years, the games that's been out there, they've kind of made the choices super transparent. So you know when you're making a choice, and most of the time when you're playing the game for the first time, you know what the choice is going to result in. You know all the consequences of all of your choices. Think Mass Effect, right? Paragon, Renegade, blue reply, red reply, up, down, hot, cold, evil, good. You knew. And most of the time when you were making a choice, you were not making a choice out of you wanting to make a certain choice, but out of following a certain path. So if you've decided to follow the Renegade path, you would choose the red actions. Out of following the Paragon path, you would choose the blue ones. And that kind of spoils it a little bit for us. As much as I love Mass Effect, the choices in that game well, let's be honest, we kind of knew what the choice was going to result in. Let's think Life is Strange. That crazy moment, the game would stop, the image would stop, the camera would start shaking immensely, and the tense music would start playing, and there would be two things for you to choose from, and you knew that, oh, this is that very important choice I have to make that's probably going to result in something. And most of the time we can absolutely 100% predict what the result is going to be like. You do not see any of that. Well, okay. Well, by saying that you do not see any of that in Heavy Rain, I am being I am being a little bit tricky here, because you do see a little bit of the camera starts rotating, kind of thing, and you have to, there are two buttons that you can press, and you kind of know what kind of choice you're making, but that's it, there is very little of that in Heavy Rain. Okay, by saying that you do not see that at all, I would be lying. There is very little of that in Heavy Rain, and most of the time you are not aware that you're making a choice. Most of the time, by doing certain things, you are not realizing that you are making a mistake until you see the consequences of your actions, and until you find out that you could have done better or different, and you kind of go, OMG, what the hell have I done? So I love that about that. I love that the whole idea of you making choices was not transparent, that the buttons were the same color, that they were rotating around you, that they were shaking. The game devs did fantastic at creating the tense moments, at rushing you through making the choice, putting you in the position where you had to think fast, and whether you had to make those choices as fast as you could. And most of the time that would result in you messing up a lot of things, and I think this is the most fun part for people who have played the game and who watch other people play the game. You know, I've messed this up, let's see if that person will do this better. That was absolutely fantastic, and I love that, and I've made so many mistakes there without realizing I'm making a mistake. And isn't that the most precious thing that we're looking for in the game? Isn't that what we're looking for? And Heavy Rain is considered to be what is it? I'm not gonna say it's a telltale, but it's the movie. What's the genre? Let me know in the comments. What is the right name for that genre? Where you kind of like watch a movie, a walkthrough movie with making choices. We're not used to seeing this in the similar kind of games these days, because most of the time everything is scripted, and you cannot kill someone by messing up. Most of the time you can just alter the game reality a little bit, but the scripted event is going to be there, and everything is just going to go as scripted, with slight variations on the way to that scripted point in game. In Heavy Rain, it's different. You can mess up so many times. You can kill the character. You can result in someone's dying without knowing that you're doing so, unless you find out later that maybe, just maybe, this character could have survived and make it to the end of the game. That was perfect. Game mechanics. I am not the best with the controller. I've been the PC gamer my entire life, so keyboard and mouse have been my friends, and it's been a little bit tricky. I have not played on the hardest difficulty, because it was still a little bit tricky for me on the mid difficulty, or the quick time events. Yeah, this game is about the quick time events, so if you suck at quick time events, if you're not really a big fan of quick time events, do not play this game. You're probably not gonna enjoy it, but it was a lot of fun for me. The only thing I struggled with is the motion sense, because it's a remastered thing. Motion sense has not been a thing on PlayStation 3. It has been introduced to PlayStation 4 remaster of Heavy Rain, and it's not exactly working as it's supposed to work. Most of the time the controller does not really understand if you're doing the action that you're doing, or maybe that was just me, I don't know, but people have been saying that they've experienced the same issues that I have experienced, and that resulted in a few awkward moments where, you know, when you're sitting there shaking your controller like an idiot, embarrassing yourself in front of everybody and yourself, and that was slightly uncomfortable, and it can cause you a little bit of the irritation at a certain moment, whether you go, oh my god, game, I have totally shaken that controller in the right way, and what the hell is happening, game. This can be a thing, but it shouldn't stop you from completing the game. You should just know that it can be an issue if you haven't played it. But all in all, Heavy Rain is an absolute recommended from me. I don't know, I would give this game maybe like a solid 7 or even 8 out of 10, despite sometimes poor acting, despite some things maybe not being absolutely perfect and not being absolutely polished. This game is definitely one of the masterpieces in the game industry, and I definitely see why so many people like the game so much. I am becoming the Heavy Rain adept myself here, and I'm definitely gonna say that this game is making it to like the top games that I've played, because it's been several days and I cannot stop thinking about this game, and it certainly leaves something behind you. It's certainly gonna make you think about it, but once again, that is not a game for everybody. But if you are a fan of the plot driven kind of games, if you want to experience a good story, if you want to be part of good story, if you want to be responsible for people's lives and then blame yourself for someone dying, if you want to be put in the stressful situations where you have to think quick and where you have to make decisions real quick, because the game won't wait for you. The game doesn't wait for you to make the decision. You have to think fast in Heavy Rain. Definitely go and play it. So that was it. This is my little Heavy Rain podcast. I hope you guys loved it. Let me know in the comments. Leave me some feedback, please. I would really love to hear from you. Do we need to go there? Do we need to continue? Did you like it? Do you want to hear my thoughts on all of the different games that I've played on stream or played throughout my gaming career? That sounded weird. Let me know. It's been a pleasure having you guys here listening to me. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. What else do those YouTubers say? Anyway, bye guys. See you later.